Hello guys, and welcome to another in-depth review here on Entity Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, of course, and today we'll be taking a look at this 2017 Chevy Sonic in the LS trim level. Now, my once over this car, it's a really nice car, really good value for a car that costs just under $18,000. Now, for 2017, the Sonic was updated as far as the front and rear fascia goes, and a little bit of updates in the interior as well. Now, before we get started, I'd like to thank Terryville Chevrolet in Terryville, Connecticut for allowing me to take a look at the car in today's video. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any Chevy from this dealership, go ahead and check out the description box where I listed all their contact information. So as far as options go, we have the Kinetic Blue metallic paint color, floor mats, all-weather floor mats, and as well as a cargo net. Now, taking a look at the side of the vehicle, like I said earlier, your color is called Kinetic Blue Metallic, and it's one of 7 color options, and it really makes this car pop. It really looks good in this color, and the wheelbase stands at 99.4 inches. Now, coming around to the rear of the vehicle, the Sonic is front wheel drive only, and you do have a choice between 4-door configurations and 5-door hatch. So we can go ahead and start getting into detail up here on the front, starting with the headlamps. And the headlamps are a feature that got updated for 2017, and your headlamps consist of projector low beams as well as halogen high beams, reflector halogen high beams, and you also have the LED daytime running lights. Good looking double grille with the chrome surrounding it down there and also down below there. So taking a look at the side, our standard wheel choice is 15-inch steel wheels, but they get nicely dressed up with these covers there. And our front tires measure 195/65. They also do have disc brakes in there. It's kind of hard to see, but trust me, they're there. Now, coming down the side, you have some pretty nice mirrors that do fold in. Door handles, body colored, of course. Now, coming back here, we have drum brakes that are perfectly adequate for a small car like this. And towards the back, really nice new shape for the tail lamps. We also have the trunk lid. It kind of comes up into a sort of integrated spoiler type of look there. Really cool. And of course, under there you have your single exhaust outlet. And I almost forgot to mention your backup camera there. You also have an antenna up top over there. So now let's go ahead and take a look underneath the hood. Now, popping the hood reveals a 1.8 liter inline 4 coming on LS trims, and it does produce 138 horsepower at 6,300 RPM and 125 pound-feet of torque at 3,800 RPM. Really nice to see a small engine cover. Takes 5W30 oil. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the interior of this Sonic. Now, the interior color is called jet black and dark titanium. Pretty nice interior. All around here is kind of hard touch plastic, but you know. You also have a big storage tray there. You have a speaker on the door. Manual crank windows. Nothing's gonna go wrong with those. I guarantee that. Lock, unlock. You also have your mirror controls there. Over here we have a nice air vent. You have some of your lighting controls, gauge dimmer. Pedals are down there, as well as your hood release. You also have a tilt steering wheel. Now taking a look at your seats, they're pretty nice. A nice little pattern in the center there. Now I do apologize, the backrest a little bit covered, but you can kind of see the pattern in there. Now these seats are manually adjusting. You have a height adjustment right here, a recline right here, and then you have your back and forth right there. But let's go ahead and get out of the cold and check out the rest of the interior. Now I do have the key fob for the vehicle. You have a switchblade key that kind of folds up inside. It's a pretty traditional key, but you have your unlock lock buttons as well as your trunk release and a panic alarm. There's a nice Chevy emblem on the back. So all you need to do to start this car is just insert the key and turn it. Just like in the good old days. Now back inside, let's go ahead and check out the steering wheel first. It's got a pretty interesting texture. It's not leather, but it feels like a really durable sort of plastic material. You have some nice notches right up here. Nothing to the left of the steering wheel, but to the right you have all sort of media controls. You have a mute, voice commands, as well as your Bluetooth controls, source, and your audio volume right there. Taking a look up here, we have our gauges. You have a fuel gauge right there, RPMs, as well as your speed. And you also have a little information display over there as well that'll display all kinds of stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, pretty cool little screen there. Now behind the steering wheels we have our turn signals as well as our high beams. And we also have our windshield wiper controls. So taking a look down here, some pretty interesting storage trays right there to the either side of the screen there. Now taking a look at the screen, it is a 7-inch MyLink screen. We can go ahead and take a look at some of the basic features of it. Now you'll always have your clock, exterior temperature, date down there, but it is a nice touchscreen unit. Here's your audio screen right there with all your presets down bottom. This car also does have Wi-Fi, which is pretty cool. You can go ahead and pair your phone and all your contacts will sync as well. Now projection has to do with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You also have a bunch of settings. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through, and you can go ahead and pause the video to see what you can customize. Heading back to home, and you have your OnStar. Down here, just repetitive buttons. You have your home button there and your volume knob. Glad to see that there's a knob instead of a swipey thing. But coming down below here, we have a lock unlock button. You have your hazards. You also have your passenger airbag off. 1-zone climate control right here. You have your temperature, fan speed, front, this is rear defrost. You also have front defrost right there. AC, recycling, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up and put it in reverse so you guys could see the backup camera. Pretty nice backup camera. You can choose between if you want the guidance lines or not, but they do turn as you turn the steering wheel. And we even have a manual mode here. We can go ahead and select the gear ratios right there. And it is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Manual is available. You have a USB and an aux inlet there. Gonna shut it off and save them some gas. The trunk release down here, traction control off button. Manual parking brake, good to see. A couple of medium-sized drink holders. You also have another drink holder in back for the passengers back there. And you have a 12-volt power outlet. Taking a look up here, you have a mirror with all your OnStar controls and manual day and night mode, rather. Up here you have some illumination. And you have some nice sun visors with a mirror. And inside you really have a lot of room to sort of stretch out and everything. I don't feel cramped in here at all. The seat goes back very nicely. But now let's go ahead and check out the rear of the vehicle. As you see, the seat does fold down. I'm going to go ahead and fold it back up so you can see what it looks like. Alright, so I folded the seat back up. Looks like you have a pretty good amount of room. Back seats are nicely designed like the front. But checking out the door panel, it is pretty much all hard touch plastics. But this car is a sort of lower trim level car. You also have crank windows back here as well. You have a speaker on the door, though that's very nice. So let's go ahead and hop in, check out how much legroom we have back here. So it's alright. You have a couple of inches of legroom. There's a little bit of an indent in the seat that you can't really see because of the plastic, but pretty small drivetrain hump too. You have a coat hook and a handle. A good overview of the front of the interior there. Now let's go ahead and check out the front passenger space. Okay, so the front passenger door is much like the driver's. Some storage, speaker, mirror adjustments of course, and the passenger seat is, I believe, 4-way manual. You just don't have the height adjustment that the driver does. So you have a couple of storage trays over here. You have one upper right here, which you can probably fit little stuff like envelopes. Then you also have your standard glove box that drops down. It's not too much storage, but it's definitely enough space to put paperwork or envelopes or even your manual. But now let's go ahead and check out the trunk. So you can open the trunk a few different ways. You can either open it with the button on the inside of the interior, the key fob, or there is a little button next to the backup camera right underneath the Chevy logo. Press that, it's very easy to open. So pretty impressive of how much space you have back here. Definitely have a ton of space. Now here's your optional cargo mat, and you also have your all-weather floor mats back here, branded that says Sonic. Now you can lift this little carpet up right here, and you have your spare tire underneath there. Good to see that you have a spare tire. You have your 60/40 splitting seats, you can see there. So as far as your fuel tank goes, it has a 12.2 gallon capacity. And in this configuration with the 1.8 liter engine and the automatic transmission, you should be getting right around 24 miles to the gallon in the city and 34 miles to the gallon on the highway. Not bad. So to conclude this video, I'd like to thank each and every one of you that have watched and encourage you to stay tuned for the next review.